Good evening, gentlemen. This is K5LYN. My name's Lynn. I'm in Austin. I don't necessarily need to be the guy to talk first. Jay, you want it? And let's see if Rusty. Hey, Rusty, you out there this evening? Well, not yet. Jay, you want to do it, or shall I?
No, go ahead.
All right. We're going to get together and talk about the early days of single sideband. Most of us are on vacuum tube radios. And I happen to be on a homebrew station, totally homebrew receiver and transmitter, built in modern times from old circuitry, but with the expertise of a modern engineer. The transmitter here is a cheap and easy SSB from QST 1956 that was built in the 21st century by KG7TR, Mike. And then Mike decided it needed a matching receiver to go with it. So he built a single sideband receiver for 80 meters with all 8-pin octal tubes. And it's a remarkable job with a digital readout. And that's what I'm listening on tonight. And the transmitter is driving a Johnson Viking Courier amplifier that Richard made available to me at a Hamfest one day. Buy-sell trades are appropriate if they're vintage radio related, and if you have a technical question about a radio you're working on. There's a whole lot of expertise present here tonight, and questions about what to do about a certain problem with the radio are always welcome. In fact, they're my favorite part of the net. I do it all the time. I'm going to take some of the earlies that I know are lurking out there, and then we will pass it around to 1, 2, 3 net controls. Sometimes KL7CD likes to take some check-ins, and I heard Mike, and sometimes Rusty comes in. Let me call the people that I know are here, and at least were here a while ago, and we'll go from there. N5YER. Sir, are you still there? K5LYN. Well, I don't hear him, but I heard somebody else. Let's talk to Denver. N50JB. Talk to us, Denver.
All right, this is N50JB. Denver, I'm in Gonzales, Texas, at 60 miles south of Austin on Highway 183. And tonight I'm running a set of Collins S-Line winged emblems. I have the 32S1 transmitter. I have the 75S1 receiver. And I have the 312B4 console. And I'm running barefooted, but Lynn, the NCL is going to the doctor at 12 o'clock Friday, and I'm feed going into an inverted V and dipole, and I'm talking to you on a Shure 444 hand mic. Listen to me, desk mic, black Shure 444. And back to you, Lynn.
Okay, Denver. The band is just opening up. You got 3 times as loud during the time you were transmitting. And good luck with the national amplifier. You're the only guy that ever has one, so we're sure looking forward to hearing it again. By the way, do you listen to Matt's recordings of the net and hear how good you sound on that Collins?
Yes, I've listened.
Okay. All right, it's doing a nice job for you. All right, moving on down. Let's see if Barry's back. KF5YMF. Hey, Barry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Lynn. Do you copy?
Oh, beautiful signal. Knocking me out over here.
Thanks for picking me up. I'm on my usual Swan 500C. Good-looking radio. Got it from somebody you know. And anyway, got the same dipole still up in the trees. And hey, that radio that Denver was on, what was the model of that transmitter? Did you recall?
Yeah, it's the Collins S-Line, and the transmitter itself is 32S1. I think that's an S1, isn't it, Denver?
Yes, sir. It certainly is.
Yeah, 32S1.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I was going to look up on that Gold Anchor. They got a deal on the web. You can look up schematics and whatnot just to study up on it. Anyway, band sounding better already. KF5YMF back to net.
Yeah, when you're looking that up, Collins S-Line is available in the S1, S2, and S3 lines. And so you'll find that a little bit confusing, but that's the order in which they came out, with each one a little bit different. You're sounding great, Barry. Anything else for the net this evening?
No, that's it. Hope you have a lot of folks checking this evening. KF5YMF, back to net.
I think we're off to a good start. Let's see if my friend Tom's hanging out down there. KC5L, what do you think, Tom? K5LYN.
Hey, good evening, Lynn. It's Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're on the usual here, talking on the Central Electronics 200B with the D104 microphone. And that's driving a 600L amplifier with a single 813 doing about 300 watts into a Johnson KW Matchbox and a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet, and we're listening on the R390A. And that's about all I have here, Lynn. Everyone's sounding great this evening, so I'll turn it back to you, KC5L.
All right, Tom, sounding great. Hard to go wrong with Central Electronics. My two stations are sitting over there ready to go in the next week or two once again. But since I got something new here, I need to be running it and make it one of the part of the family around here for a little while. All right, moving on. Let's talk to my friend down in New Braunfels, KC5 KL7CD. What do you say, Mike? K5LYN.
I don't say much, Lynn. What rig are you on? I had to go down the hall when you started the net.
Okay, this is the cheap and easy SSB with the brand new receiver that KL7CD, the KG7TR built for me, the one you saw when you came by that day.
Okay, great. Got it written down. Okay, this is KL7 Charlie Delta, New Braunfels, Texas. My name is Mike, and tonight I'm on the Hallicrafters Twins SX117 receiver. I'm using that. I got them set up to transceive, so I'm using the receiver VFO to control transmit frequency. The transmitter's an HD44. I have the matching speaker and power supply for that. Real good looking station. It kind of takes up a lot of room on the bench, but that's the way it goes. Amplifiers a Heathkit SB220, and from there I go to my kilowatt matchbox by Johnson, and from there out to my homebrew loop of about 30 feet on average in live oak trees, and my microphone is the D104. Anyway, that's what's happening here. I will mention that, when you're retired, you kind of, or at least I kind of lose track of what day it is, and today, all day, for some reason, I thought it was Tuesday, and about 5 o'clock, I realized, oh, wait, it's Wednesday, and I have to set the trash out, and I'm setting the trash out, and then I remembered, on Wednesday, we have the boat anchor net, so I came pretty close to missing it, but I got in here about a half hour before it started. That's it. K5LYN, KL7 Charlie Delta.
Great signal, Mike. And yeah, this is our trash day too. I put the trash cans out just before net time, so we're coordinated here. Your station sounds great, and I hope you and Rusty and everybody can take some check-ins while I try to get my other station, my Heathkit SB10 station that I've had a little trouble with. I want to try and see if it's been rehabbed tonight, so I'm going to do a second shift on it if it is working. We will find out in time. Anything else on your end, Mike?
Well, I just wanted to tell you, Lynn, I'm still working on the HT33A amplifier, and it's quite the little project. Thank goodness I have a manual and a schematic, and the manual has pictorial. That's helped me a lot. And I've started ordering parts off Amazon, and the first parts came in today. Nothing major, but what I'm trying to do is just go back to the beginning and get this thing wired like it was originally, because there's no documentation on what this guy was trying to do. But when you have wires in there with wire nuts on them, you have to think he was kind of an amateur. K5LYN, KL7 Charlie Delta.
That's exactly what I would do, Mike, because I think the guys at Hallicrafters knew what they were doing. You and I both had great Hallicrafters stations. My HT37 is always going to be one of my favorite radios. Okay, we'll be getting back to you a little bit later on. Jay, I think I'm going to wait until we get further down the road to pick up KF5TCM, we think it is, because I'm not sure I'll just hear him yet, but the band is opening up. let's move on. So keep him on your list. Let's talk to Bob. KA5CXG. Talk to us, Bob. Okay. Bob's down the hall. We'll get back to him. How about Dan? KWOZ.
I'm here. I got back, Lynn.
Okay. Talk to us, Bob.
Okay, KA5CXG. I just got in from down home. Not much going on out here. We're kind of holding our own. It's still pretty hot out here. And other than that, everything's going pretty good. Fellas, I'm still looking for that front faceplate for a Drake 2B. If anybody's got one, let me know. I got a pretty good radio. I got kind of good front panel for it. And that's about it. Everything else is going good, and we'll catch y'all later on. K5CXG. And Mike in Breckenridge, I heard you in there earlier. Your radio's sounding good. So I don't know if they got you on the list or not, but I heard you in there earlier. I'll see y'all later, K5CXG.
Signal came way up, Bob. The band must be coming alive. Great to hear you. Beautiful signal. Okay, KWOZ. How about it, Dan?
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, and everybody on the boat anchors here. This is Dan, KWOZ in Houston. Well, I had good intentions of getting it downstairs with a 520 and a 30L1, but I kind of ran out of time, and I needed a jumper that I guess I used them all. So I'm on a cheap radio tonight. This is a solid state Flex. So just take me off the list of having anything important. It's a Flex and a Alpha 86 amplifier. That's it. KWOZ.
Okay, nice signal into Austin this evening. All right, let me see. I still got EDX and WB1E. Jay, why don't I let the guys let you pick up those guys? Except let me talk to Byron one more time, then I'll give it to you. Then I want to go over there and see if I can make my Heathkit station talk tonight, as y'all are picking up others. WA5EDX. How about it, Byron? K5LYN.
Yeah, Lynn, thank you. This is WA5EDX. Byron in beautiful Bluffdale, Texas, southwest of Fort Worth, about an hour on 377. And I have noticed over the last several weeks, it seems to me that swans have been severely disproportionately unrepresented in our net. So I'm trying to correct that tonight, and by getting on a Swan 350 and the old classic. You know, back between 65 and 75, there were a high percentage of these on the bands. And as a matter of fact, the Swan 350 was like the only radio I had. Only radio I owned between like 75 and 2000 when those inactive years. Too bad I got active again and started picking up junk, so to speak. Hi. That'll teach you to go to Belton. I think I got this Swan 350 at Belton. A good chance I did. And this is the first time I've had it on there. Just cleaned it up today. And put it on a good power supply, and lo and behold, the thing works. So I would like some critical reports.
Question, Lynn.
Its audio may not be any good because I'm just on a D104 Lollipop. So I'm sure the audio, Transmel audio is not that much to write home about. But that's all I know for sure. I think the band is coming up a little bit, and glad to hear everybody on. Thanks for running that, guys, and special thanks tonight to Matt for recording the net. Every week I go back and listen to it and to see what my signal sounded like, and I really appreciate him posting that religiously every week. Thanks again, Mike. Back to you, Lynn. That's all I know, WA5EDX.
Okay, right quick. First of all, I always listen to Matt's recording beginning to end, every single time, no exception. Hey, pull the audio down just a little bit on that. That's a great sounding radio, but I'm thinking it might be smoother if you pull the audio down just a little bit and let me listen to it.
Okay, yeah, I had it up pretty high. I had it at 12 o'clock. I was 11 o'clock over.
Even one step further, maybe.
Okay, 10 o'clock, how's that doing?
Well, I like it quite a lot. Some of the other guys may comment as we go around the table here, but I think that's pretty good because actually it has excellent audio, and when you hear the recording of it, you'll like it. Over.
Okay, well, that's why I asked. First time I had it on. Yeah, now that I look at the power meter, it is, Whistling puts out over 125 watts, so I'm sure PEP is probably 150 watts out. So, and I usually shout pretty hard into the mic, so I shouldn't be judging this thing by the analog meters as much as I am. So, thanks there for the comment. Back to you, Lynn.
Well, Swan taught us how great the sweep tubes are. I love them, you know, and Swan really pioneered that. By the way, speaking of that, I'm actually looking for a 240 with a nice front panel once again, because a couple of years ago I bought from Rusty the outboard VFO companion for this 240, but a 240 hadn't come my way, so keep the thought in mind. All right, Byron, great to hear you. Hey, Jay, pick it up, and I'm going to see if I can make my Heathkit stuff work tonight. The KM5QS, K5LYN.
Okay, what you need, Mike? I was asking Lynn, or I wanted to ask Lynn, what the, I think it's CXG, it was the one talking about needing a Drake 2B front panel. Anyway, I need his rig, please.
It's a modern radio. It's an 850.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, takes care of that. Let's see. This is Jay, KM5QS. I'm coming to you tonight. I'm speaking into a Electro Voice 664A, a little bitty thing. Looks like the big one, but not quite. And it's going into a Kenwood TS820. I'm listening on a R820. I have them hooked up in transceive. And then it goes to a 922 amplifier, and from there, a homebrew antenna tuner and antenna and all that stuff, 160 meter dipole, 75 foot in the air at the feed point, 30 foot at the ends. And so that's what we're doing here. Let me see, who do I have? Let me start with Doug, and then I'll go from there. Go ahead, Doug.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. It's great to be here on the Boat Anchors Net. Man, I tell you, it is just so nice. This is like a antique car show every week right here in my shop. So anyway, this is Doug WB1E. Talking to you on another Swan. Thank you very much, Byron, and the other gentleman with a 500C. See, we got some Swans flying around. Just hopefully it will get shot down anytime soon. It's a Swan 500, the plain old 500, no suffix. Raven's got beautiful front panel, just one tiny little scratch, and I just love this thing. It was well taken care of, however, it was found in a garage on the bottom of a stack. I think they were about 3 tall. And Dave in the cave over there in Round Rock, thank you very much. It's well taken care of. Anyway, going out through a Henry Classic X for a little bit of help. I got the original set of 6 HF5 final sweep tubes, final amplifier sweep tubes. And so they'll do about 120 watts together. And it's a great option if I want to drive an amplifier. So there they sit. But I do have a new pair, and they really put out nice. And anyway, it's an inverted B up at about 80 feet with a homemade 4-to-1 current balance. So there you go. Jay, you're sounding fantastic tonight also on your fine, I believe it's the Kenwood Twins. So anyway, everybody have a great night. And this is WB1E here in Bryan, Texas, and I'm going to send it back to Net.
Okay. Well, they are both Kenwoods. They're not what you usually think of when you say the Kenwood Twins. They're not the 599s. They're both 820s, the TS820 and the R820, which is a fairly rare piece of equipment to find nowadays, especially in working condition. But it is one fantastic receiver. So anyway, thank you, sir, for the compliment. Appreciate it. Alrighty, let me see here. We have a couple of people that checked in. Let me try this further, gentlemen, because I was hearing him pretty good at the time. KF5TCN. Is your name Matt?
Brian, KF5TCN.
Okay, this is KF5TCN. I've barely got a copy, but this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. And if you're looking to check in, go ahead, sir.
If you would put me on the list, thank you very much.
Oh, you're on the list, so let us know what you got, and tell us what you're doing, and go ahead.
Well, all right. What I'm doing is I'm enjoying the wonderful Boat Anchor net, printing out some QSL cards. I'm on using a Heathkit SB200 for an amplifier, doing all she can. Driven with a rice box, GCSD 450D for the antenna. I have about 75-80 meters worth of nylon-coated, stranded, copper, 30-gauge fishing leader wire. Transmitting on fishing line. Over.
Okay. Man, it's 30 gauge? That would be an invisible antenna, wouldn't it?
I live in a God-forsaken apartment for the time being. And it's going to cost me a couple $100,000 or so for my next antenna to buy a house.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir, for checking in. If you're not familiar with the net, I don't recognize your call, but that doesn't mean anything. Everybody's welcome here. We do this every Wednesday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time, and you just, talk about old radios and stuff and have a good time. So appreciate you checking in, and we'll move along to the next victim there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we figured out who it is, KF5CCN. We had the call wrong. Yeah, Brian, he's a friend of ours here in Austin.
Oh, that's Brian. Okay, I'm sorry. What was his call correctly?
Charlie, KF5, Charlie, November.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, we had it wrong. Now it all makes sense.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Anyway, all right, good deal, sir. We'll catch you next time. All righty, let me try RJ in Tennessee. KC4, Lima, Romeo. Come on in here.
Thank you. This is RJ, Lima, Charlie 4, Lima, Romeo, located in Franklin, Tennessee. That's and I am on a rig I got a couple of weeks ago at a tailgate with the Kenwood Star AT2K tuner, so my 80 or 4020 is raising us down a little bit lower. So running it through the tuner, just got into these radios a couple of years ago when I bought the Kenwood PS890. They had a real nice appreciator that had some pretty pictures of these rigs. I've been keeping my eye out for one, and finally got one. Huntsville Hamfest, I got two 6-piston microphone for it, so it's in great condition. Hopefully it sounds all right.
Okay, RJ. My call is Kilo Mike 5 Quebec Sierra. I'm down here in Alice, Texas, and I'm speaking to you on a TS-820 with the R820 for a receiver. But it sounds fine. As the night wears on, your signal would probably come up some, but I was able to copy it just fine. So, good deal. And congratulations on having a household full of extras. That's pretty cool. That photograph on your QRZ page. That's really good. I'm glad to see that. The hobby needs people like y'all. So thank you, sir. Come back next week.
Started at 6:30, so I've been here playing for an hour or so. I don't know who updates the Boat Anchor Net webpage, but yeah, it says 6:30, not 7:30. But hey, no problem. I play radio for an hour at 10:03. It don't bother me at all. Thanks for letting me do it again. And yeah, check out the QRZ page. I got pictures of it. There's new pictures, but I want some more pictures when it's got the pictures. 54LR.
Roger, Roger. Thank you, RJ. All right, that's the end of my list. So let me see who else is out there that would like to check in to the Boat Anchors Unlimited.
WA5MOE 5 Quebec, KE5Q.
All right, I'm gonna take y'all one at a time. KE5Q. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, KM5QS. This is KE5Q. Appreciate you guys calling the net as always, and Jim in Plano. And tonight we're on the KWM2, and instead of driving the 3001, we're driving the old L4B tonight. And that's going into the 8040 double bazooka Ultimax and using the Shure 444 microphone. So back to you, Jay. Great signal, and the station out in Tennessee, we were copying you pretty good too here in near Dallas. KM5QS in the net, KE5Q.
All right, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. You're sounding fine as usual. But then, you know, tubes are always neat. Who's next? There was somebody else checking in. No, who's next for the net?
WA5MOE.
MOE, go ahead.
You got another one in there.
Okay, who was the other one?
W5 Tango Foxtrot.
All right, let me, I'll come back to you, Foxtrot, and go ahead, Mike.
Okay, just good evening to everybody for the net in here, and tonight I was going to run the Drake CR4C, but I just defaulted back to the KWM2A that drives the 30L1 and into an inverted V up about, I guess, about 35 feet. It's that high gain trap dipole, the metal trap. It's a killer. It's the best dipole antenna I've had in a long time. But anyway, that's pretty much it. We're using the Shure for a microphone. We're using Shure 450 for audio, and so I just enjoy listening to all the old radios, and that Swan really sounded good. I'd sure like to. I got a few of these Galaxy 5. I got some Galaxy 5 Mark IIs, and I really want to put one on. And I had them way back when Swan was new, and it was the competition with Galaxy. Galaxy Electronics made these things, and I ran it mobile for years. And I've always wanted to run one mobile again. And then I opened up the one about 5 years ago just to look at it again and realized how compact that sucker is in there. One of them's alive, the other one's not quite there yet. Anyway, I'm going to try to get that thing on there. So if I can add something to the frequency that drifts up and down. Oh, actually, they were pretty stable there. The solid state version was. But anyway, I'm going to try to get one of those up and going. But my immediate in the middle of the project, I got two projects. One is this Bandmaster TBS 50. This is a D version. It's got the VFO for it, and I finished the power supply yesterday. The factory power supply redid part of it. So I want to try to get that on and probably just use a Drake 2B or something like that for the receiver for it. And I can check in on the AM on this thing tonight, or in the next few nights. Anyway, so adios to everybody, and I'm still listening out, but everybody's got good signals here in College Station, Texas.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, you do. You sound fine down here. So, all righty. Let me see. Thank you, sir. We'll see you next week. W5TF. Go ahead.
Good evening all. My name is Terry, located near Laurel, Mississippi. I'm on the Central Electronics 100B again tonight. R4B receiver. Electro Voice 638 microphone. And I'm driving the SB220 to a dipole up at about 50 feet. A coaxial dipole. Everybody's coming in pretty good, and it has gotten better as we've gone along. So that's about it from here. So thanks for letting me in. And where can you hear the recording of the net? I missed that a while ago. I guess it might be on the net page. I'm not sure. Thank you much. KM5QSJ from W5 Tango Foxtrot, over.
Okay, Terry. Yeah, the recording of the net, just do a web search on Boat Anchors Unlimited, and you should come up to Matt, K5MIX, I think, is his website, and he records the net. He's got anyway, he records it and puts it on there, and then it stays there. You can go back and listen a ways and stuff like that. But it's under Boat Anchors Unlimited, unless somebody's got a better address. That's one I know anyway.
Comment, Jay?
Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, if he doesn't find it that way, he can go to YouTube, because that's where they actually are, even though it's only audio. And Matt calls it Boat Anchors Net on YouTube. So, Terry, look for it that way. Over.
Roger. Thank you, Lynn.
Back to you, Jay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would probably find it quicker. Excuse me. If you do a Google on Boat Anchors Unlimited, you might wind up with a piece of iron for Queen Mary or something. Anyway. All right, Rusty, are you here yet?
One more comment, Jay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, one more comment. Matt just texted me. BoatAnchors.com. BoatAnchors.com is the actual website. Go ahead, Rusty.
Oh, hang on just a minute. I've got to tune something.
Okay, well, why you go ahead and tune, Rusty. I'm going to do a quick Belton commercial because it's getting close. We're only about 35 days from the Belton Ham Fest. That's just a little over a month away. So, all y'all, even you fellas in Tennessee and Mississippi, if you can break loose and get down to exit 292 on Interstate 35 in Texas, at the Bell County Exposition Center, we're going to have more fun than the law allows on the parking lot, and there will be one fantastic ham fest going on, just about anything you could ever want. And we're going to be cooking and picking and grinning and all kinds of good stuff. So everybody's invited. Nobody gets turned away. It's for everybody. And maybe Rusty's tuned up by now. So, KM5QS to WK5R.
Can I make a third try to get it right?
Sure.
Yeah, BoatAnchorNet.com. BoatAnchorNet.com.
Okay, yeah, I'm tuned up now. All I had to do is hit my little button for the input on my amp there, so I'm good to go here. This is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited net, and I'm just on my modern rig tonight, the TS590, the Audio Technica microphone, driving the Homebrew GS35B amplifier, and going into the Homebrew fan dipole up at 50 feet. And that's what we're running here. Alrighty, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
K0SED.
Hey, good evening, Steve. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Boy, I don't know what there is to tell, Rusty, but we'll give it a try. K0SED in Tyler. Tonight I'm under a trusty old Kenwood 520 and a Collins 30L1. Fan dipole up about 40-odd feet, and that's about it from here. Getting ready to go to Belton. Hope to see everybody there. Thank you, Rusty. K0SED.
Yeah, that's my plans too there, Steve. The Kenwood sounds good as always there. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
One more time. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now.
KE5ARQ.
ARQ, go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's James over in Floresville, Texas. Nothing different over here, nothing fancy. Just running the Kenwood TS830S. The TL922A, about 1300 watts. Inverted V, about 40 feet. Shure 444 mic, and there's about it. KE5ARQ, back to net.
All right, 8:30 sounds good as usual there. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. One more time. Who else is out there we haven't spoke to yet? Won't you get into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. Well, then, you and Jay might have got them all. K5LYN, you got your other rig up yet, or you want me to keep calling? WK5R.
Well, let me get a report from you before I talk too long. This is the other. In fact, those comments I made when we were trying to find out how to find the recordings were on this station. I've done some work on it. What do you make of it, Rusty? This is the Heathkit SB10 driving the DX60 novice rig. This is the one I always call the 1959 radio version of a 59 Studebaker. How am I doing up there, K5LYN?
Well, that sounds good there, man. That kind of reminds me of that Johnny Cash song about the Cadillac. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, why don't we give KL7CD a chance to make a few calls? And if he doesn't score, then maybe I'll make a few calls. We'll go around the table one more time. We might be winding it down, but you know, a lot of times when we stick around here, we find a whole bunch more people come in as the band opens up. Anything else on your end before we give Mike a chance? All right, maybe not. KL7CD. Mike, you want to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot.
Go for it.
Okay, this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Every Wednesday at 7:30 here on 3870. And we're taking check-ins now. Any check-ins for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. Well, Lynn, this reminds me of last week. Hey, Lynn, Charlie can't pick anything up. Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, we need a little bit further into the fall, you know, where these guys way off east of us start coming in, and the guys in Colorado, and of course, KJ. When Mike, I've been talking too long tonight. When Mike in Arizona comes in, you know, anyway, that's when you try to talk on the radio and send texts with people and stuff like that, it gets confusing. And that's what we're doing here. All right, this is the Heathkit SB10. Anybody want to talk to my Heathkit station tonight? K5LYN, calling and listening. We might have done it tonight. I guess we need to get the time back on standard time to talk coast to coast. Jay, you want to take it? We may be winding it down. K5LYN, I'll be listening out.
Yeah, it could be, because you're certainly putting out a good enough signal to be heard. That's I don't have any confusion about that. All right, folks, this is the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. And if there's anyone out there that we've missed, you'd like to check in and exercise your old tubes, come down, please. By George, I think we've done it. All right, folks. Well, for myself and everyone, I guess we enjoy running this, and we appreciate those of y'all that checked in this evening. Looks like we're shutting down a little early. I'm gonna give Rusty another run at it, and then he'll probably go back to Lynn one more time just to be sure, in case somebody's just wandering into the shack and wondering what the heck's going on. So this is KM5QS, wishing everybody 7-3, and we'll look for you later. We've still got a few nets before Belton, so I'm going to harangue you about that every time until it's time. KM5QS, 7-3.
Okay, Jay, this is WK5R. I guess we're getting ready to shut her down here because it's like we're running out of victims. Anybody else out there wants to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited net before I shut her down? Come now.
Well, before you completely shut it down, Rusty, let me get some signal reports from some people on fancy radios like Flexes or something like that. Over.
Yeah, that sounds real good on my Kenwood, and you're about 15, almost 20 over.
Well, what about my sideband suppression? Can you flip over right quick on upper sideband and see if you hear me talking up there? I adjusted the sideband suppression on this thing, and I might have made some progress on it, and certainly the carrier suppression's better. Over.
Yeah, I just punched the button and flipped over there, and it drops drastically when I go over there. Yeah, you're way, way down.
Okay. That's probably about as good as it got on this radio back in '59. All right, Rusty, I have nothing else. I'll say my 73s and listen out. Back to you, and we can wind her down.
Okay. I see a pretty good carrier on there.
I see a good carrier, but nothing enough.
Anybody out there wants to check in before I close it? Come now.
Sammy had a report for me. Sammy, did I get rid of it right then?
Yeah, you got rid of it then.
Yeah, that's always drifted around on this thing. I thought it was better, but still doing it a little bit. Thank you for the report, Sammy. I appreciate it.
That sounds good. There was just some carrier in there, but you got it now. All right, see you later.
All right. Last call. Anybody for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? I'm getting ready to close it. Come now. Hello, here, anybody? We'd like to thank everybody for checking in, because Jay, Lynn, and myself, we know what it takes to put these things on there and keep them going. We'll look for you next week. This is WK5R. Now closing the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse.